AI slop, personal algorithms, constant doom scrolling. Do these terms make you feel something? Perhaps a bad feeling? If so, you may relate with today's video. In the last year or so, many in Gen Z have begun ditching their smartphones and social media for older technology, mostly from the 2000s and 2010s, pieces of tech that they would have grown up around. But why? To understand why this is happening, we need to look at what the internet feels like right now. The internet today. Have you noticed how the internet feels somewhat sterile nowadays? We tend to interact with about 6 to 7 websites daily. However, if you grew up in the 2000s and early 2010s, you'd remember the somewhat wilder side of the internet. It was more of a digital Wild West at that point, which was free to explore. Back then, you explored the internet, playing flash games on cool math games, watching classic YouTube videos, maybe browsing forum sites for your niche interests, looking at memes on iFunny or Dig, customizing your MySpace, and watching funny vines that everybody at school knew. However, in the modern era, you just visit YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, maybe Snap. The younger generations are now beginning to miss the free and open sense of Web 2.0, where we weren't constantly surrounded by personally curated algorithms intended solely to keep us doom scrolling for hours. Due to the increasing rate of addiction and all the brain rot we're constantly surrounded by, quite a few in Gen Z have been restricting and sometimes full-on quitting their usage of social media. However, breaking addictions isn't the only reason why Gen Z is switching to old tech. Can't innovate anymore. Another trend in tech for the last couple years has been copying Apple's ideas, good or bad. Now I can already hear the angry Windows and Android users typing in the comments, but give me a second to explain. All smartphone manufacturers have reached this kind of plateau point where they truly
can't innovate anymore, my ass.
And each new generation of their devices has minor changes. Just look at the iPhone lineup since the iPhone 12. They've all shared nearly the same design, just spec bumps. Most companies have also begun doing the same. Just look at the last 5 generations of the Galaxy S phones, or even the last few years of Google Pixels. Compared to the 2000s and 2010s when we were getting curved phones, phones with stupid gimmicky features that made absolutely no sense at all, but were just cool to show off your personality. Like the guy with the Moto Razr or the iPhone 5 was the cool kid, the person with the Xperia Play was the certified gamer, and the person with the Note 7 was on a watch list. The uniqueness of phones back then made them personal. It felt custom made for you. This is one of the reasons why people have been switching to older feature phones, and those really customizable Japanese keitai. It's not about the specs, it's about personalization. Older phones were a statement about yourself, not that you upgraded. Various surveys suggest that about 16% of Gen Z use dumb phones or older phones, a number that's been increasing in recent years. This all shows how the lack of true innovation in tech has been affecting Gen Z's tech usage. However, if you think that those are the only reasons why Gen Z is switching to old tech, there is another. Longing for the past. For the last 5 years now, nostalgia has been constantly trending among Gen Z, with many attempting to recreate the fashion of the era, listening to 2000s and 2010s hit music, and that also includes switching to old tech. The 2000s internet just felt alive and human. How are they doing this? The most popular answer is to simply use old tech. Take for example, the resurgence in popularity of the iPod. Many have been using iPods again to regain the feeling of owning their music, where an algorithm isn't dictating what they listen to, and ad-free listening still exists. I personally use a 5.5 gen iPod video almost every day to listen to music. I love being able to listen to my music at high quality and with my current favorite wired earbuds, the KZ ZSN Pros. Here's some food for thought. Music licensing changes all the time, leading to music libraries disappearing from streaming. I tend to notice this a lot with older Indian music that I listen to. Thanks to my iPod, my library is preserved forever. Another way Gen Z has been interacting with older technology is by playing older video games. As of late, gamers have felt that game production companies have been producing slop. Modern games feel soulless, like they had little human creativity put into them. This isn't helped by the fact that many game studios have begun actively incorporating AI to produce parts of games. Games are also being released incompletely, filled with microtransactions, live service games that don't feel fun, 500 gigabyte patches on day one, and DRM that's easy to break but ruins the experience for legit players. This has caused quite a few gamers to go back in time to the days of the 360 and the Wii, when games felt like they had soul and felt genuinely fun. I know I'm part of this because my most played game consoles last year or the 3DS, the 360, and the Wii. One more thing Gen Z has been doing is using old cameras and camcorders. This is just to create the same vibe that old family photos and home videos had back in the 2000s and 2010s. I love the aesthetic that this creates and really like the purer image created by these old cameras. They don't try to make you look perfect. They know you're perfect just the way you are, and thus just try to capture the moment. The photos feel more natural and nostalgic, even if they have less definition to them. All of these examples show how much nostalgia can affect people and trends. Gen Z might not be going back in time. They're just trying to find what they lost in tech: personality, humanness, and ownership. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay safe. Bye!